just sprouted.
I believe that.
And he's like, you know what? Lions sneak past the Vikings in a barn burner, 31-29. Jared Goff, sneaky MVP. You said it on the call. Now it's my take. Solves Brian Flores' defense. Here's Dan Campbell.
To say that I'm proud of you would be the massive understatement. That's the way to come in here. Everything we talked about from the time we got to halftime to the way we had to finish it out, man. My God, man, you guys didn't bat an eye. I love this freaking team. I love the coaches. I love the players. I love everything about it, man. We are so freaking hardened. Even when doesn't go the way we want it to, man, you find a way.
Meanwhile, my coach was said the team's soft. Fire turning me into a Lions fan. Look at Jared Goff, Greg. Last 3 games, passer rating is 153.1. It's the best by any quarterback in 3-game stretch since the merger, capitalized M. So, Greg, this is your squad. Do the Lions prove they're the best team in the NFC?
Yeah, they're definitely the best team in the NFC. They just beat the Vikings in U.S. Bank handedly. Obviously, they kind of let the Vikings get back in it, but there's nothing that this team can't do, and you've lost your best player essentially in Aiden Hutchinson on the defense side of the ball, where they were just vastly improving, and now you have other opportunities for guys to step up, and they did that. You saw a couple big plays from Justin Jefferson, but for the most part, this defense did their part. Offensively, what can this team not do? They run the ball very well, and you know that they're going to run the ball. And then they're one of the best teams, if not the best team, on play-action pass. And Jared Goff and his numbers, I know we look at them and we kind of say, oh, yeah, but is he really throwing? He's throwing the ball downfield.
Yep.
These aren't dink and dunk.
Pressure.
Like, most of his passes are off play action. So anytime you go play action, you're trying to find second and third layer throws, and he's making them with tremendous accuracy, as his numbers suggest. There's nothing that this team hasn't been able to do thus far this season.
Drew yesterday shredded the Vikings blitz that you and I both thought that the Vikings blitz was going to give him trouble, was giving everyone trouble.
And it did early in that game.
Yeah, but then after that,
he figured it out, and it was over.
Go ahead, bro.
Look, I love Dan Campbell. I give you nothing but credit for what he's done in Detroit, but some of his decisions might come.
I knew you were going to hate the fake punt.
4th and 7
fake
from
punt
what?
options.
The 30? What were they on their own?
Their own
34
32, and they ran a speed option fake punt.
I like that stuff.
Why?
The moment they ran it, I was like, Brew might like this. But then the moment it failed, I was like, he definitely won't like this.
No, I don't like that from your own 34. Early in the, I just don't.
But that's what he does.
Didn't it come back to, you don't have to do it all the time. I mean, there's nuance in the game. Just because I go for it sometimes on 4th down, I have to go every time? No. I mean, that's what you're saying. Last year, it came back to bite them in some games late in the season and in the playoffs.
It won games for them, too. So we can look at it both ways.
I'm just saying, that was a little too risky for my blood. Look, they got the best resume. I'll give you that. But the best team in the NFC is the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers, 5-2, beat Houston up yesterday. I know it was a close game, a last-second field goal. But they held C.J. Stroud to like
83 yards or something.
Yeah, worst game of his career. They're leading the league in takeaways with 17. They're balanced just like Detroit is. They're like top 5 in rush offense. Obviously, Jordan Love is playing well. He leads the league in interceptions with Mahomes, but also leads the league in touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't like it.
In only 5 games. He's played 5 games. He got 15 touchdowns. And I think the best, and they played Minnesota. In Jordan's first game back from injury, they're down 28-0.
Yeah.
Why were they down?
He was rusty. He was coming off a freaking MCL. And once he gets his sea legs under him, they outscored him 29-3.
And they won?
So they lost, but they outscored 29-3. Green Bay,
baby. You give him a second-half win over the Vikings?
I'm just spouting facts. Green Bay, watch. Okay. Greg knows.
No, I don't.
Brand new suit, and he loves it. Head to Pittsburgh, where the Jets, who were favored somehow, lost by 22 points. Easy upset alert for the Puxatawny Phillip football. Rodgers had 2 interceptions. Devontae had 3 catches, and the Jets are stuck at 2 wins. Here's Rodgers and how the Jets can still believe. Take a listen.
How do you get everybody to believe that it seems like a lot of the same mistakes?
Stop listening to you guys. Number 1. Number 2, got to be accountable you know, I got to play better. That's the key.
Yeah.
Brew was right all along. The back page
Hey.
will finally rear its ugly head. Aaron Rodgers during this.
Oh, those aren't good.
Streak,
Look at
not great. A lot of them are.
Yeah.
picks.
Yeah, they're just horrible. All right, so Brew, go ahead.
I'm gonna quickly say, reacting to the media. Now I don't know if he was saying, because you guys have been, because the New York media has been pretty light on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's saying we gotta quit thinking we're so good because of what you guys are saying,
that.
or is he saying we gotta quit? You know, you're ripping.
Can I
They
give
haven't
you a
been
different?
ripping.
Can I just quickly give
Yeah,
you
yeah,
another
yeah.
third option?
There you go.
I just know it's not Aaron Rodgers' fault. Bob Saleh's gone, and I didn't throw it to Mike Williams, and we got Devontae Adams, and obviously it's not my fault. So I guess it's the media's
Well,
fault. The turf is coming soon, by the way.
That
The
leads
next home
to-
game.
That was last year.
Yeah.
The truest thing he said, whether he meant it or not, and obviously you don't think he meant it, I got to play better. That's the key.
Yeah.
The biggest problem for the Jets is Aaron Rodgers. That's the biggest problem. And the defense, obviously, it wasn't good hasn't been good the last 2 games since they got rid of Saleh, and now Ulbrich is calling everything. He's head coaching and calling the defense. He struggled with that. But the biggest problem is Aaron Rodgers. I hate to use the term washed.
Why?
Because that, to me, that indicates you're horrible.
But
and I
wash,
don't think
watch.
he's horrible.
He's on wash,
He's on
watch.
watch because he's now so. I'm not going to use the word Greg. Greg used a great word when we were talking earlier. He's so-so, though. He's so-so. He's a middling quarterback
Middling
right now.
would be a great
If that.
improvement.
He's not middling statistically.
He hasn't been.
below middling.
He's been the biggest problem, though. Even yesterday, you look at 276 yards. 100 plus of those came off Breece Hall, little check downs, and Breece Hall did all the work. They're not throwing downfield much. When they do, it's picked half the time. To see Aaron Rodgers has 7 interceptions, he's on pace for 17, which is 4 more than his career high. Like, this shows you he has not been good. And it's not just the play. It's also that happens when you're a terrible franchise. When Aaron Rodgers went there, they gave everything to him. They went from being a team to a one-man show, and now you're seeing the fruits of it.
Yeah.
And he's not a leader. He's never been a great leader, obviously. But guys, I think, are not playing as well as usual. I think in part because of his presence. So Aaron Rodgers has been a huge problem.
Yeah, he's been a huge problem. Look, it starts with him. He's been very basic. That's the word that I chose.
Basic. That's
it's
a good
just,
word.
and when you think about Aaron Rodgers and what he's always been up until his last year in Green Bay, he's been spectacular. Like, he's been one of the standards at that position. And then here comes Mahomes, and then he takes over that, and now he's a standard. But for me, Aaron Rodgers hasn't even been, like, good.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Wilds did since the losing streak on the season. He's 24th in rating, 28th in completion percentage, has the 4th most picks, and 26th in yards per attempt.
Yeah.
It's not been by his standards.
Correct.
He's just been a bad quarterback this year. Go
And
ahead.
if that's who he's going to be, then this team they're done.
Yeah.
They are done. And you've said this at the beginning on the outset. I believe that this team had the personnel to win this division. I do still believe that can happen, not if he continues to play like this. And he says, I have to be better.
Yeah.
If he is just better, he's able to erase, like, better quarterbacks are able to erase.
How about just not have 3 straight
Issues.
games turn on your interception?
Well, it's not even. That's the thing. It's not even just about the interceptions for me. It's the situational stuff too.
Oh, it's everything.
That he's not been great at.
I agree. Did you?
Well, I was going to throw this alley-oop to you because you were like, this is the beginning of the end for Aaron Rodgers if they lose. Statistically, and I know Aaron Rodgers is going to be mad at the media about maybe not seeding the belief, but here's where we are statistically and historically. Teams that started, we went into this, they're like, hey, if they win, they'll be 3-4. You got a 19% chance. You're 2-5. You're down to 6.5% historically chances of making the playoffs. Add that to the fact that there's only been one coach ever when Gruden got fired of firing your coach early in the season, 2016. So historically, it's tough to find a path here, even though Aaron Rodgers wants to blame me for putting those.
All right, Matt, I'll just because yes, Aaron Rodgers has been bad. He's a 40-year-old, soon to be 41-year-old who doesn't train really seemingly